Classic Cars TV.
Welcome to another Cajun Classic Cars TV car show of the week. And this time around, we're traveling to Leesville, Louisiana for April 4th. The Country Boys presenting a great show, and got Will, better known as Monroe. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm glad you guys are doing great things in the community, especially Louisiana, and I appreciate you shouting us out and showcasing us.
Well, it means a lot. Thank you so much for the compliments, man. Just one car guy to another. All I'm trying to do is just spread the word and have a place for people to find out information and learn a little bit about cars and and all that good stuff. So before we get to the show specifically, tell me about your history.
Yeah, so I'm a 25-year vet, just recently retired out of the Army from here in Fort Polk. Darren, he's one of our local fuel truck drivers in the area. And then Cliff, he owns Platinum Fades Barbershop on Entrance Road. And all three of us collectively, we just love giving back to the community.
Tell me about your history in cars. Do you have an old car or a special car, anything like that, or just like them?
Both. Well, let's start this way. My very first car was a 1967 Chevy Impala, completely original with the 327 four-door hardtop. It was a very special car to me. Unfortunately, I cracked the frame on the right side. I cracked the right side of the frame and couldn't find a welder at the time or somebody that would touch it, and it stayed in the garage for a while. And mom said, "Hey, look, you got to do something with this car," and ended up calling the salvage yard. And when you know it, about 3 weeks later, somebody called me and said, "Hey, man, you're still looking for a frame?" But ever since then, I've been hooked on old schools. But right now, I'm working on a 1985 Oldsmobile Delta 88. But
That's a cool ride.
but guys like us, those are the classics. Those are what we grew up on. 15, 16, 17 years old, your daddy would put you on the lap and say, "Hey, let's learn how to drive," or sometimes even younger than that, especially out here in the country, nothing but farmland, we can just get to it.
So tell me, when did you first? I think the statute of limitations is over. Be honest. When did you first get behind the wheel and drive yourself? I was 13. Just to answer that, 12 or 13, I'd go down and get my mom some groceries at a grocery store about 3 miles up. And the deputy would just wave at me as long as I was being cool. It's so funny, like you talk about out in the country and farmland. If you weren't doing anything stupid, nobody messed with you.
Exactly. I think if memory serves me correctly, I had to be somewhere around there, somewhere between 11 to 13. I think is when the first time I actually drove by myself.
And it probably was a stick shift, which nobody of the younger generation can drive today, right?
You know what? The first car was not a stick shift. However, one of my mom's best friends, she used to drive a stick shift. She had an old uh, Ford Escort that was a stick shift, and I used to always tell her, "Hey, I want to learn how to drive this." And so she ended up teaching me how to drive that Escort. I think when I was around 14. So yeah.
Nice, very cool. Well, let's pivot over to talk about the Country Boys Car and Music Show in Leesville on Saturday, April 4th. Man, tell us a little bit about the show and how you guys got it started.
Well, this is to be quite honest, this is our second show. Last year we had been floating around, um, doing something for Leesville to kind of bring the community together, and the different classes or cultures do you may have as far as cars is concerned. So and we had been talking about it all year, but just never really made an effort to do anything. And then I would say around September, yeah, sometime in September, late September, October, we said, you know what, hey, let's go ahead and let's just do it, and let's do impromptu car shows and put it out there and see, what people think about it. And we did, and we had a very, very good turnout. It was held here in Leesville. One of our hangouts is Platinum Fades Barbershop. So we ended up having it right there in that parking lot. And it was actually a great turnout. And then people were asking, hey, well, when's the next one? So And because of that good feedback that we got, we decided, hey, we're gonna, go all in, put a little bit more effort into it, and now the one we have coming up here, April 4th, we've been planning this pretty much since the last one ended back in October and or November, I should say. And this time around, we're trying to bring the community together. And because it's Easter weekend, we're doing stuff for the kids, like having Easter egg hunts. We got the local fire department coming out, bringing a fire truck, and we're just bringing, people, young people, old people, people with classic cars, foreign cars, people with rims on the cars, whatever your taste is for an automobile, whether it be motorcycle or ATV, UTV, we're trying to have something for everybody.
It's about some of the award categories you're going to have, Will.
So we're going to have best female overall, best male overall in the show. We're going to have best car, best ATV slash UTV, best truck, best SUV, best Jeep. We're also going to have the as far as sound system, we're doing that what we're calling trunk wars. So it'll be and then this is going to be the public is it's it's their preference, so they're going to vote and say, okay, hey, we believe this car or that truck or this person has the best sound system, and we're doing that both for male and female category, because we don't want to exclude the women, because we know sometimes the women like to get out there and put money into their cars and their sound systems, and so yeah, we want to allow them to showcase theirs as well. And then oh, hold on, matter of fact, I have it right here. I don't know if I mentioned, since we're speaking of that, muscle cars and classic cars, obviously, as well, are some of the other categories that we're also going to have, as well as motorcycles. So
Sounds awesome. Of course, you got some cash prizes. And what is the registration fee for cars?
So the registration fees for cars is if you're entering one car, it's $25, and if we have some people that want to enter multiple cars, so the second and ultimately third or fourth car that you have, it drops. The second car, if you have it, is going to be 15, and any third and subsequent vehicle or whatever that you have that you want to enter in is $10 additional.
And where's it going to be located there in Leesville?
So it's going to be at the Leesville, or well, as we say around here, Leesville Fairgrounds, but it's also known, if you look at Google, it's going to be called Vernon Parish Fairgrounds, right out here in Leesville, 276 HM Stevens Boulevard, Leesville, Louisiana, 71446. We're going to open up the doors around 10 a.m. and we're going to run to hopefully 6 p.m., just depending on how the day goes and how long people want to stay out there. Last time we did it roughly, I believe, 10 to 3, and folks were still out there mingling around. So, but yeah, and then we're also going to have vendors, food trucks out there, so folks can eat. Trying to get I haven't heard back, but there's a guy out of, I believe, Anacoco, who drives around and he has a slushy type truck. Trying to get him to come out because of the weather. So,
Well, sounds good, man. And I appreciate everything you're doing for the car community there in the Vernon Parish area. Well, if they want to get in touch with you guys between now and car show time to ask questions, what do they need to do?
oh, that's easy. They can shoot us an email at thecountryboys.promotions. That's DACOUNTRYBOYZ.promotions@gmail.com. Or they can call or text my number 850-226-3260. They can hit up one of my partners, Darren, 337-353-6956.
The Country Boys Car and Music Show in Leesville, Louisiana, Vernon Parish, April 4th, 10 a.m. Thank you so much for talking to Cajun Classic Cars TV, my friend.
No, once again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your platform and everything you do for the community, for Louisiana, and for the small folks.